All right, good morning. You're welcome to grade 10 mathematics. We're still on formal geometry. Such an interesting aspect of maths, and it's so voluminous if you want to do something very intensive with it. We are still studying isosceles triangles, and we're looking at exercise 2C of our reference text, the New General Mathematics, book 1. Okay, beautiful. So we would kickstart from question 6, and like I told us in our previous class, today I would try to assist you to get the sketch of the diagram, and after that I'll give you some time to solve, and then I'll come back much later to try to conclude the class. So we'll start with question 6 rather, and I'll read and try to translate statement to diagram. ABC is an isosceles triangle, so I will draw a triangle ABC. Now, please, when doing this, don't be afraid to make a mistake. It is your mistakes that help and increase your sense of judgment. All right, so ABC is an isosceles triangle with a base BC. All right, we are fortunate to have that. Produced to D. When I say produced to D, it means this line is extended out. And if angle A is what? 75 degrees, you are told to find angle ACD. This is the angle you are told to look for. So I can call that angle X. So that's for that question, and I'll expect you to finish it up. Then for question 7, the base QR of an isosceles triangle. So this one is quite straightforward too. QR, and please take note that this one is going to be, when they say the base, it means the other sides are the ones that are equal. Is produced to what? S. Now PRS is 102 degrees. We are told to find Q. This is what we are told to look for. Let me call that one small letter Q. So this is what we are told to look for, this angle here. All right, so how are you going to go about that? All right, so make your relevant substitutions and then you solve. Now look at question 8. In question 8, the base VW of isosceles triangle UVW is produced to X. VW produced to X. This obviously will be U, and then UWX is what? 121 degrees. I am told to find the angle at U. This is what they are told to look for. Let me call that one small letter U. All right, I'll leave you for now, and I've often told us that there is no one particular method of solving when it comes to formal geometry. In fact, it's like the multiverse of madness. There's so many countless possible ways you can go about it. So your approach is a test of what you already know. So I'm going to leave you to use the methods you think is appropriate for you. And in the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'll come back to take you through on what my own approach would be if I were solving them. First of all, the letters designated here are the letters telling me the problems I'm looking for. Let me circle them just to help my work. I'm circling them just to help my own work. All right. Now, to get this angle, I need to get this one. So I'll call here small letter B and small letter C. So first of all, B, using notation, as in diagram, comma, you observe that B is equal to C. Reason is that base angles of isosceles triangle. The base angles of what? Isosceles triangle. So what would that be? These two angles are equal, is that not? Now, 75 plus B plus C is equal to 180 degrees, is that not? What's the reason for that? Angle sum of triangle. That's easy now. So what's the next thing now? 75 plus what? What we're looking for is what? X. And what is the letter close to X? C. So this will be what? 2C. Because B is what? C. Will be equal to what? 180 degrees. Is that not? So I'm going to clean off. And that will mean that 2C will be equal to what? 180 minus 75. Meaning that 2C will be equal to 105. And C will be equal to 105 divided by 2, which will be equal to what? 52.5. Is that not? So how do I get X? C plus X is equal to what? 180. What is that? Angles on a straight line. Is that not? So what's the next thing you do? That will mean that what? X will be equal to 180 minus C. So X will now be equal to what? 180 minus what? 52.5. What does that answer give you? That will give you 127.5 degrees. So that settles number 6. For question 7, this is our objective. So this one is even easier. If we got the diagram right, this is even easier because this angle here, angle PQR is equal to Q, small letter Q. What's the reason? Base angles of isosceles triangle. So it means that 108, 102 plus Q, or supposedly angle PQR, will be equal to what? 180 degrees. What's the reason for that? Angles on a straight line. Is that clear? So it means that 102 plus Q will be equal to 180 degrees, and Q will be equal to 180 minus 102, which will be 78 degrees. Settled. So this is not something you should waste time on. Now look at this one. Remember that this will be equal to this once the base is established. So this is what we're looking for. So I can call here X. I can call here X also, doesn't matter. So it means that angle UVW is equal to angle UWV. What's the reason? Base angles of isosceles triangle. Remember that the whole essence of all these exercises is for you to get used to these rules. Get used to them. Get used to them. That's why we don't leave any question unsolved. You solve everything, so you get used to it. Okay, so from here, and that will be equal to X. All right, let's not forget that. So remember that we're looking for U. X plus X plus U is equal to 180 degrees. What's the reason for that? Angle sum of triangle. So with that, you have that 2x plus U is equal to 180 degrees. I think there's something I ought to have done before that. Let's look for what X is. So X plus 121 is equal to 180 degrees. What is the reason for that? Now, please, you must always state your reason. That's where the mark lies. 1 is equal to 2. Why is it true? What are the conditions necessary for that to be that? So that will be what? Angles on a straight line. All right, and that will be X equal to 180 minus 121, and that will give me 59 degrees, if I'm right. So with that established, I can say that u plus x is equal to 121 degrees. What is the reason? Exterior angle of triangle. You remember that. So you see here, you need to remember them. So it's not something I will teach and you drop. You really must practice. All right, so x is known. X is what? 51. So u plus 59 rather is equal to 121 degrees. So u will be equal to 121 minus 59, which will be 62 degrees, I think, if I'm right. And the answer becomes what? 62 degrees. All right, so that settles question 6 to question 8. And then maybe I'll just use the opportunity to go into the other ones. Okay, so let's go to question 9. Question 9, in figure 2.23, ABCD is an equilateral triangle, so it makes it very easy to solve. All the sides are equal, and you have this, and this angle is 46 degrees. This is A, this is B, and this is C. So without even stressing yourself for now, this angle will be 60 degrees, this angle will be 60 degrees. Why? Because it's an equilateral triangle. Now I are told to find angle APB. This is what I are told to look for. APB. Now, angle APB is equal to 46 plus 60. What's the reason? Exterior angle of what? Triangle. And that will be equal to 106 degrees. That will be equal to 106 degrees. Is that clear? All right, so I'm going to pause for a while now. And I want you to try your hands on question 10, 11, and 12. I'll get back to you shortly. From question, we'll start from question 10. Okay, for question 10, let's look at 10. PQRO is an equilateral triangle, and O and QP is produced to what? S, such that PS is equal to QP. So let's look at how that one will be. Question 10, equilateral triangle. Just do an equilateral triangle, doesn't matter. One side is produced, PQ, and QP. So PQR, QP is produced to what? S, such that PS is equal to QP. Okay, let's scale the diagram well so that the interpretation will be right. All right, so let's look at this. Let's scale it out well. QPR rather, such that PS is equal to PQ. What's the essence of all of this? Find angle QROS. Okay, I think I see the importance now. Find angle QROS, all right? QRS. So that's what the diagram will look like. Remember that all this angle will be 60 degrees. This will be 60, this will be 60, this will be 60, this will be 120. Is that clear? So you now need to get this one, which is x. So that's my diagram. Using notations as in diagram, comma, x plus x, triangle PROS is isos. This triangle will be isosceles because the base, with base what? SR, right? So it means that 2x will be equal to 60 degrees and x will be equal to what? 30 degrees. So angle QRS will be equal to 60 plus x, which will be 60 plus 30, and that will be 90 degrees. And that will be 90 degrees. So that's what question 10 would look like. Question 11. In the diagram, or rather in triangle ABC, the angle at D is what? 67 degrees. The angle at A at C is what? 46 degrees. It says show or prove that CA is equal to CB. We're required to show that those two are equal. For those two to be equal, it means that this angle here must be equal to this angle. For CB equal to CA, the implication is that what? Angle B is equal to angle A. So let's show that these two angles are equal. So let's do that. X plus 67 plus 46 will be equal to 180 degrees. Angle sum of triangle. So that will be x plus 100 and what? 13 will be equal to 180 degrees. So x will be equal to 180 minus 113, and that will be 67 degrees. So that shows that what they're talking about is correct. So that takes care of question 11. So what happens in question 12? In question 12, we're given a very interesting diagram. We're told to show that this diagram is isosceles. All right, let's see that. This angle is 98 degrees. This angle is 131 degrees. This is Q, this is R, and this is P. Right, so we are told to show that this triangle is isosceles. So quite easy. We'll just call this angle X, we'll call this one Y, we'll call this one Z. For an isosceles triangle, we expect that two of the angles should be equal. We expect minimum requirement that two of the angles should be what? Equal. All right, so with that said, using notation as in diagram, using notations as in diagram, comma, y plus 131 is equal to 180 degrees. Angles on a straight line. So which means that y will be equal to 180 minus 131, and that will be 100, and that will be 47 degrees. X plus 98 will be equal to 180 degrees. What's the reason? Angles on a straight line. So which means that x is equal to 180 minus 98. 180 degrees minus 98, and that will give you 82 degrees, if I'm right. That will be 82 degrees if I've done my maths correct. So with that said, x plus y plus z is equal to 180 degrees. What's the reason for that? Angle sum of triangle. The angle sum of triangle, we produce that logic. And what does that mean? It means that x, what is x? 82. What is y? 47 plus z is equal to 180 degrees. Add this to this will give me 129 plus z. This should be 49. Please let's check this. This should be 49 degrees. Please confirm that. That should be 49 degrees. Take note of that correction. So this will be 49 degrees. And that will give me 131 plus z equal to 180 degrees. Z will now be equal to 180 minus 131, and that will be what? 49 degrees. So what it invariably means is that z is 49 degrees. So you discover that z is equal to y is equal to what? 49 degrees. So therefore, triangle PQRO is what? Isosceles. It's isosceles. In question 13, an isosceles triangle is such that the vertex is 4 times. Now, where is the vertex of the triangle, of an isosceles triangle? This is the vertex. It's such that it is 4 times the size of a base angle. So the base angle, let the base angle be x. So that's what the diagram would look like. The base angle will be x. And the other angles will be that. I mean, base angle will be x and the vertex will be that. So what is the size of the base angle? This is what they want you to find. So let the base angle be x, right? So from here, we know that 4x plus x plus x will be equal to 180 degrees. What's the reason for this? Angle sum of triangle. Angle sum of triangle is that. So 6x will be equal to 180 degrees and x will be equal to what? 180 divided by 6, which is 30 degrees. I see that. So that's for question 13. Question 14. Question 14. Calculate the angles of an isosceles triangle in which each base angle is 4 times the vertex. So now the narrative has changed. This will now be x, and this will be 4x, and this will be 4x. I see that. So it means that 4x plus 4x plus x will be equal to 180 degrees. Angle sum of triangle. 9x will be equal to 180 and x will be equal to 20 degrees. What are you told to look for? You are told to look for, calculate the angles. So we're going to have the vertex angle to be this, and then 4x will be equal to what? 4 times what? 20, which will be what? 80 degrees. So the angles are 20, 80 degrees, and what? 80 degrees. So settled. So the last question we'll consider for today, question 15, And after this question, you will be required to finish from question 16 to 20. You do it. And that will form the basis for our class on Monday. Because once I finish, once we are through with this topic, we will go straight to your grade 12, your grade 11 work. I'm using this to build up. When I get into grade 11 work, I will be very fast because I've given you enough foundation. All right, so question 15, it says, this is an equilateral triangle. All the sides are equal. This is X, and for an equilateral triangle, if I put the midpoint is X, this will be equal to this. Now, so X, Y, Z. Now this is this. So based on standard information we have of this topic, this is 60 degrees. This will bisect, this will be 30, and this angle here will be 30 degrees. So the questions that we should look for, N, where is N? N, M, Z. See what they want you to look for. This angle here. Let me call it X. Now this is 30, this is 30, this is 30, this is 90. So this angle is what we need to look for first. Y. So considering triangle XMN, look at that triangle. 30 plus Y plus 90 will be equal to 180 degrees. 30 plus Y plus 90. So Y plus 120 is equal to 180, and Y will be equal to 180 minus 120, which means that Y is what? 60 degrees. So, did I state the reason why? Please always remember, I need to state the reason. Angle sum of triangle. If not, everything I've done there is useless. Now, Y plus X is equal to 90 degrees. So it means that X will be equal to 90 minus Y. 90 minus 60 will be equal to 30 degrees. So if we know that X 30 degrees, then what is X? X is actually angle, what? NMX. NMX, which is 30 degrees. All right, I guess that was a very exciting time today. I guess your brains have been worked up very well for the work ahead.